unfortunately, the dyno might be for sale. Jake needs the room. His business is growing. He doesn't need the dyno anymore. So he goes, Alex, do me a favor. Let's make sure everything's working properly for the guy that's going to potentially purchase it. And at the same time, we'll see how the truck's been doing since it hasn't been dynoed in a year plus, and he hasn't really messed with the kit or anything. So he's like, let's do a 10 psi pull on the 85, and then we'll see what it does on like 14 psi and call it a day. I like the frame rate just happens to match. He's looking for the boost. So 722, 696, probably 10 psi. Yeah, 11 or 10? 10 psi. So okay, seems to be working. You got to shut the button off earlier. You made the dyno graph look like shit. Well, I got to change some stuff here. Okay, so obviously everything's working good. 10 psi, made 722 on the 85. Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and make another pull to 14 psi or so. Everyone's out here looking. This could be the final dyno pulls of the PBH dyno, so historic. So nice to have a guy that knows how to operate a dyno. Operate the dyno. $800, 711?
It was only 11.5 pounds.
11.5 pounds. Yeah. So it's probably seeing 20 degrees of timing. That's healthy. Oh, so it's not going any higher?
It can.
What do you want to do?
I just want to go a little more so I can beat you.
Beat what? The Corvette?
All of them.
I'm like an 1100. He doesn't want nothing with the Corvette. So you want to go again?
800?
800, 711.
I'll leave it there.
Leave it there? Okay. Okay, we're back at YDBT Performance. Funny thing is, I think this is like the origin story of a lot of shops where they feel they were taken advantage of, they would never let it happen again, and they do it on their own. So this is where I'm at. So I've organized everything in a couple of trays. I really didn't like things being all over the place for my own sake. So I wanted to make sure that all of the valve train, guys, I understand why LS guys are like, fuck Coyote and fuck modular, because this is like half of the valve, actually 3/4 of the valve train. The springs are still in there, the valves are still in there, you know. These are the lifters. If you guys never knew what lifters look like, these are the lifters. That's the 10mm chain, the reluctor wheel, guides, cam gear, lifters again, secondary timing chain, tensioners, rockers, cam, the retaining part where this retains this small gear that goes up against the cam. So the cam sprocket retaining gear, cam caps. And as we noticed in the last video, they are numbered. Obviously that sort of got screwed up. And then we have the cams themselves. I put them over here out of the way, try to separate them bank to bank. Obviously this is bank 2, bank 1. So I was just trying to keep, actually no, this is bank 2, bank 1. And this guy goes this way. There you go, just for my own sake. Now, I have talked to a very reputable engine builder that I trust. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. So a lot of you, rightfully so, said, Alex, If there's oil on the valves, then either the guide got jacked up. Let's get a light in here because the last video I was extremely tired and I really couldn't get into it in detail, but let's get into detail in this video. How does oil get in there? And that's what you got to kind of start really making a couple of educated guesses. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go out of my way to try to determine why oil got in there because I'm no engine guy. But if this combustion chamber looks like that and the rest look normal, but this one looks very obviously different than the others, then you go to the other cylinder heads and they all look obviously different than the others. You start going, okay, so how did oil get on the intake valve? Because see, look, oil's on the intake valve here. And the exhaust valve seems to be drier. So how is oil getting in the intake valve? So I don't know. But again, some of you that are machinists or really good engine builders, you can answer this question in the comments. The gasket. So the gasket, to be honest, looks to be the stock gasket. Now, I'm no engine builder. I don't know how any of this works, but we've measured this, and this measures 60 thousandths. There are no identifying marks on the gasket anywhere. Doesn't say Felpro, doesn't say Cometic, does not say anything. And typically, depending on how of a good engine builder you are or not, sometimes you like having a copper sealant, spray-on copper situation. Some of you don't, some of you do. I like having a copper sealant on this guy, both sides, but maybe you're an engine builder and you go, it is not necessary. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what I'm looking at. So, 60 thousandths on the gasket. The ones that Cometic and Felpro and others make are 54 thousandths, 40 thousandths, or something. So the thickest one is the one I ordered at 54 thousandths, which is 6 thousandths, you know, thinner than this one. But this looks to be a stock head gasket, which is not a bad thing. I talked to Jake. He goes, no, Alex, stock head gaskets are pretty badass on GT500s. I said, okay, hey, I'll take your word for it. What the fuck do I know? So then you do a visual inspection of the cylinders, or the pistons, and obviously one had a bit of a kissy issue here. But again, because I'm no engine builder and very much an amateur, I don't know what I'm looking at, so I'm going to let a professional take a look at this. Now, the next step is to drop the oil pan. And obviously, you know, you got to check for metal in the oil filter, and that's what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm going to go ahead and take the oil pan, drain the oil, and the oil filter is over here. And I'm going to take that off, and a buddy of mine has a cutting tool, so I'm going to cut it open and lay it out on a bench and see if we find any fine particles or any metallic debris. But for now, drain the oil. I'll do it live because I haven't done it yet. I'm going to take the cams out of this cart, put the drain pan on that cart, put it right up against it. Nice to have some decent tools and some stuff to move things around and make life easier. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take you through the process of not draining the oil, but I'm going to drain the oil. We'll visually see if there's any swirl marks start to come up or any metallic substance. If not, cut that open, bring it over to a buddy's place and see about that. But for right now, what I'm doing is my due diligence, getting everything organized, keeping everything together so I don't lose parts, verifying gasket thickness, taking pictures, sending photos. Now it is time to take the oil, remove the oil, drain the oil, and take the oil filter apart. Basically just the due diligence of basically trying to get, you know, a better story as to what has to happen. And to be honest, a lot of you guys are smart. You're like, hey, you're pretty much going to have to take this bottom end and have someone look it over, which means disassembly, honing, maybe new rings, just to verify that everything is kosher, which blows my mind, but that's something that I might have to do, because if I don't trust the work that was done on the top end, why would I trust the work that was done on the bottom end? All right, enough talking. Let me get the oil out of there. All right, here I'll lower it a little bit just to, I think the oil is pretty much Done draining. All right, so nothing super obvious, right? I'm not seeing any very obvious metallic situation. You look at the oil and you're like, it's a weird color. That FR50 stuff has always looked weird to me, so I'm not really going by the color on this one. But nothing super obvious, obviously, but you know, still should pull the pan just to make sure everything looks good, and the filter is still gonna get opened up. So nothing super obvious that makes me go yikes. You know, there's casting marks and stuff in there. This, I don't know if they're casting marks. You get a rag, but nothing that makes me go aha, aha. You know, nothing like that. So okay, cool. The bottom end here. Like, I really don't want to start taking this apart because this, to me, is engine builder territory, which I am certainly not. But crazy, these are numbered, and we know how that all went with numbers, so I want to make sure that they're captured in the right place. But yeah, I'm not going to go crazy and start pulling this off, even though it's a simple... Fuck, I guess I have to. Ah, God. All right, it's 3 bolts, so I'll do it. So 6, 6, 2, 2. Is that 5? 5, 5. 1, 1. Where is it? Come on, Alex. Right here we go. Dude, the camera. There it is. 3, 3. Yeah, 4, 4. All right. I guess everything's numbers are matching. Thank goodness. So why can't I? Oh, I'm on the opposite side. All right. I'll shake some things around. See if there's anything. I don't know. I can't imagine anything would feel off. Like, you can't really feel anything because, you know, if you feel something off, then that's a big problem. So on this end, I'll leave it to a pro. In order to do my complete due diligence, I'll have it all looked at. But off camera, I'm going to shake some things around, make sure everything's okay. Jesus. Should come apart. Oh. Yeah. It is. It's like a big tool.
I'll wait till the last minute.
I'm gonna cut this up. Cut this up the right way.
Sorry, but
Nothing super obvious. Took the filter apart. Nothing super obvious. Had someone else look at it with me. The bottom of this guy looks good. No shiny stuff. No flaky stuff. So looks to be pretty good. So I'm more than likely going to leave the bottom end alone. I know a lot of you guys like take it all apart, guys. If there's no obvious signs of any issue with the bearings or anything like that, I'm just going to add another $3,000 bill when the cross hatches on the cylinder look okay and the filter doesn't have sprinkles and glitter on it. I think I'm going to be okay. So hopefully I'm going to just leave it alone and get the heads done, get it all bolted back together, and that should be it. So just want to show you the process that I'm going through to do the best that I can to diagnose what's going on with this motor.